Yo guys, what is up? It's X1 here, and we're back with more Off the Battlefield, and I am joined by my lovely co-host R23. Say hello.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
It's going good, thanks. You just come back from a tournament, Big Battlefield. How's that?
Yeah, so it was really good. Stayed with Fade, who was a fantastic host. Already told him that a million times.
Yeah.
Scottish guys all really welcoming. It was a good mix of people.
Mm-hmm.
You had some from Ireland. You had a couple from the north of England, and of course, I think it was the first tournament where all of the top 10 on the Scottish PR were at the same tournament.
Oh, that's definitely interesting.
Which is pretty cool. So it was like as good a tournament in Scotland as you can get in terms of the mix of people who were there.
Yeah, definitely good to see stuff, picking up in Scotland and generally in the north of England and the UK. We'll come back to all the results on that later, but I want to just jump in and talk about the big one that we've had since the last OTB. It's quite a while now because this episode is a bit delayed, but Eclipse. Pretty mad stuff happened here.
Yeah, so where do we want to go from? Should we go from the bottom of top 8, or should we just skip over?
Okay, yeah, no, you know what actually we should do? I'm going to name 4 names, right? Okay, guys, everyone listening, you're going to think, okay, these are pretty good players, right? Okay. Chillin' Dude, Adam from Netherlands, Over Triforce, and Fuzzy, okay? And you think they're pretty good players. And these guys didn't make top 8, okay? That's pretty crazy just straight off the bat, you know?
Yeah, it was a really, really stacked tournament. I think the prize pot and the quality of the players going sort of brought a lot of people in.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, everyone in top 16 is a really solid player, and even looking through the top 25, top 32, there's no bad players in there.
Yeah, very true, very true. Those players going out, just up ahead of them in 7th place, is Zagetto and Android. It's Zagetto who managed to beat Chillin' Dude, I think that's a pretty good win for him.
Yeah, especially because Chillin' Dude a couple of weeks before had got top 16 at Big House.
Yeah, which is mad.
I know he's like super old school, but he's really, really good.
Yeah, and what I like about it is that Zagetto's like, it's just like, it's not like he managed to beat someone in Europe who was at Chillin' Dude's level. It's like he's just come up against a completely fresh opponent who he's never played before, who's probably expected to beat him, and he's managed to overcome him, so he's definitely like figured it out in the course of the set.
Yeah, definitely.
Over Triforce went out to Triss, so that's kind of, that happens, they go back and forth.
Yeah, but Triff was only there because he got up. I'm not sure if it's a huge upset, but he lost to Kage in winner's side. And we've seen this before, like at Air, when so we had Vanity Angel play Chudat, and then afterwards, Triff, who is arguably the better Peach within Europe, absolutely destroyed by him. Instead of a 3-2. So I think Triff is amazing at matchups that he knows, but unusual ones like really, really good Ice Climbers or Ganon.
Yeah.
Whereas Kage, I think it's V wins the Canadian Peach.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Obviously has a lot of experience in the matchup, so...
Yeah. It's just generally, like, there's no good Ganons in Europe, like, obviously...
There's none.
There's none. Like, there used to be this guy, Ace, but he wasn't even that good. He plays Falcon now, I think. And, like, Swizzy is, like, whatever.
Were you thinking about QX as the...
Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking about this Dutch player called Ace, who now plays Ganon, I think. But, like, they're all just mid-tier players in their country, like, never anyone who's actually in the high tier of their country, let alone the European high tier.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Fuzzy went out 3-1 to Kage, and this was a fucking heartbreaker. I don't know if heartbreaker is the right word.
What happened? So
he just got done. He played Fox, and I think he may have played one in Falcon. I think he played a mixture of Fox and Falcon. It's so long ago now, I'm trying to remember. But I just remember thinking, like, okay, Fuzzy can win this. And then he just got behind massively in the first 2 games and just got absolutely shat on. Like, I said heartbreaker, which makes it sound like, had a lot of hope for him and then it got taken away. But it was kind of just like, I went in thinking he would win it, and then I just saw him just fall apart and get absolutely picked to pieces by Kage, and it's like, I didn't want to watch that.
Yeah, Ganon can do that, but Fuzzy's someone who's been to America and that, and is a bit more experienced than Triff. So
yeah, and all of his characters poo on Ganon.
Yeah.
So it's like,
not that Peach doesn't beat Ganon.
Yeah.
But it's less known. So then the other ninth place, Adam, who also beat Chillin' Dude.
Yes, that was pretty
side.
nice. Yeah, the Dutchies gave him the old bow pow, but they lost to Android 3-2 in a really close set. So
Yeah, Adam going that close versus Android is a bit unexpected, really, because Android I'd see as sort of a top 10, whereas Adam's a top 20. So
it felt like he kind of maybe had the hardest ninth place match, but it's just the way these brackets go.
Yeah.
So moving on into top 8, Zaghetto and Android ended up in the 7th place, and then 5th, Triff and Kage. So Triff taking over Zaghetto. These guys have gone back and forth. I remember we spoke about them last time.
Yeah.
But Triff comes out on top this time. I think he lost Syndicate.
Yeah, it was at Syndicate.
So it's good to see that he's made that adjustment. And then Kage absolutely just body bagged Android. It was just like, Android was just running away when I was watching it. He was just like, it felt like he was trying to camp out Ganon or something, but he was just giving up his whole stage the whole time and just getting absolutely destroyed for it.
Yeah, you feel like Sheik can camp Ganon, but if the Ganon is really good at closing the space, if he ever gets in on you, you take so much damage from the chain grab and the
it's just like
brutal. Like you get knocked off by a back air at about 50, and you shouldn't make it back.
Yeah,
because you land back, get chain grabbed some more, up smashed or whatever.
Yeah. The fact that they can turn any situation we have to up beyond the stage into a chain grab, which is then guaranteed death again, is just like it's just insane.
Kind of like playing against Ice Climbers, right? Like you land and you get wobbled. So.
Yeah.
Again, a matchup that Kage will have a huge amount of experience in with Kirby Kage and Android, nothing. Yeah,
exactly. It felt like when Android got in, he'd had some good openings and he put in a little bit of work, but like in general, he was just getting fucked most of the other time. So it was a bit sad watching that as well, but it's like learn to beat Ganon. So moving on up from there.
So Profri over at Triff.
Yeah, Profri over Triff.
I know Triff beforehand was saying he had this interview on the MYI site.
Yeah.
And was saying how he thinks he's the 4th best in Europe because he's beaten Amsa recently, who used to be the 4th best, and this is sort of Prof saying Frio is like you're not even close, right?
Yeah, it's like nah, mate. Nah. Yeah.
It's still good from Triff to get 5th at this event, like with the quality.
Yes, definitely. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Triff is definitely up there in like 6th or 7th or 5th best in Europe, but like I wouldn't say top 4 yet.
Prof saying 4th is mine basically.
Yeah.
Leffen beating Kage, Frio. Leffen beating losers, of course, because he lost to Ice in winners.
That was insane. We haven't spoken about that yet, but Ice beat Leffen, and then he beat him again.
Losers.
Which was mad. Because, so I was watching this with Sam, and you know when you see someone, like, beating Leffen or beating Armada, you're just like, nah.
The comeback's going to happen.
The god's just going to win, exactly.
Almost did. Leffen missed that back air on the last stock, which you'd expect him to hit 99 times out of 100.
The whole time we were watching this Leffen set, it was like, he was losing the first game. Oh, no, it's fine. He's going to win in a minute. Then he does lose the first game, and he's losing the second game. Oh, he's going to win in a minute. And then he's, like, losing the third game. We're like, oh, whoa, what?
Bring it back to 2-2, but...
Yeah.
Ice managed to clutch out something he talks about a lot in his Big House interview, how he'd been working on his mentality and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame he didn't get to Summit and get to show that.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Everyone knows that. Like all the people at Summit were going on about that.
Bring it up again.
Yeah. So then Ice goes against Armada in the grand finals. So yeah, just to clarify, Leffen ends up in 3rd, losing to Ice. Ice gets 2nd place, not able to beat Armada in grands. He does take a game, and in the winner's side, he did take 2 games as well, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, winner's side was 3-2. It was really close. It's a really good set. He's using a lot of smart stuff. He was like surviving a lot longer. He's always had these amazing like techs and stuff off of recovery, and he's just like getting a lot more value out of his stocks than a Fox normally would get versus Armada. As well as having a really, really good punish game on it.
Yeah, his punish game is pretty insane. Like he like does this. The Prof does the same stuff. It's like he will do like a wave shine, not just into like an up throw, hope for an up air, like wave shine into turn around up tilt into like
then you catch their DI because they're like trying to smash you. Whatever.
Yeah, if they DI full in, then they get this like trebuchet and you get a good combo off it. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff to Armada.
Yeah. Shall we go over some of the UK guys on the bracket, or?
I think not, because we got a lot to cover, and it's literally only just occurred to me that we should probably talk a bit about Summit at the end of this as well. That's not in the notes yet.
Okay. I'll put a separate tab whilst we're going.
Yeah, if you want to just whack open the bracket for that. We'll go through these. The way I've written them in the notes, I think we'll go through this way, is just like the order they happened in.
Okay.
So, next thing along was Avalon 6. Avalon M6, so that's Melee 6.
Yeah, I didn't realize
very appropriate name, actually.
Yeah.
Because at this tournament, first place
God.
Answer, second place 6, third place Zagetto, fourth place Adam. Okay, and you're probably thinking, who the hell is 6?
Yeah, I had no idea. I was no idea who this guy is. Apparently, some old school German, right? Like he used to play. He used to play Vice a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, just because not everyone at home might know this. This guy plays Link.
Yeah. In Europe, you never see that character.
Yeah.
He's worse when he's in NTSC.
Yeah.
There's no links outside of Aether in France.
Yeah. Who's that? Okay.
So look at the bracket, he beat Stein first. Stein's this up-and-coming Netherlands Fox. He's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've heard
And
of him.
looking at the way the bracket is, Stein's seeded above 6, so they weren't thinking this guy's all that.
No, not at all.
And that already is that's like a solid win over someone who's like top 100, maybe sort of top 75, 50 in Europe.
Yeah. It's just like, when you see that, you're like, oh, hey, look, this old school guy managed to come and beat someone who's like semi-relevant, you know?
Yeah,
and then he goes and whoops Zagetto and Amsa. Like,
next he beats
Zagetto, Adam, and Amsa. Insane.
I hopefully the VODs go up for this soon, because this is a crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how it could have happened, basically. Like, what did this Link do to that?
It looked pretty insane, to be honest. I watched the first set against Amsa, it's the winner's side, where he won 3-0. And it looked like Amsa was on tilt, but he was on tilt because the Link was good, you know? It was like the, oh my god, I'm actually losing to a Link kind of tilt, not just the, you know, general tilting. Like,
okay.
He'd been shaken up by the fact that this other guy was so good.
Yeah.
Which is pretty insane.
So that's like the main story of this tournament, right? Other results, Adam beating Baxon, which is pretty, like, a bit surprising, not like a huge upset, but someone who I think I'd have put Baxon above Adam, personally.
Yeah, then Zagetto managed to take over Yappy as well, which kind of, I think that's quite usual.
Zagetto beating Yappy.
Yeah.
I think they go kind of back and forth, but Zagetto edges it a bit more nowadays.
Yeah. So run through that. Amsa first, 6th and 2nd, Zagetto 3rd, Adam 4th, Yappy and Avalanche in 5th. So Avalanche is actually also a pretty big one. Is this am I right in thinking this is the Ice Climbers player?
He's a Dutch Sheik, and I think he also has a Yoshi, which he's used before.
Okay, cool.
He beat Dumbling with Yoshi once, I think.
Okay. Apparently that matchup's good for Yoshi.
Yeah, and no Ice Climbers know it, so...
Yeah, obviously. You know, actually, I was in Bristol the other day, and G wasn't allowed to enter bracket because he was working at the shop where it's held, 8-Bit Planet. Yeah. So he just entered pools with his Yoshi for a joke, and then his Yoshi beat Ship 2-0.
Oh no. Tom Carl.
Yeah, that was a bit
I've had a lot of Tom Yoshi as a legend, so...
Anyway.
But wait, time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Then in 7th place, you got Baxon, which is quite low for him, and someone called Donald J.P. Trump, who I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, so he beat Pure Evil, who's okay. He beat someone called Utto, who I haven't heard of, but... And then he beat Belia as well, who's
quite big.
Pretty good French Fox.
Yeah.
I'm surprised... Who is this guy, basically?
Yeah, who is this guy?
This is more of a who is this guy than 6, which is like someone that people have heard of, is just like...
Yeah.
I think it's a fake name, because he was seeded.
Yeah. He's given like a middling seed. Yeah, it's probably just someone with another name, but definitely interesting. So moving quickly on, big Battlefield Glasgow. You were at this tournament.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
You end up not being able to take over Mint in the end.
No. He is amazingly solid and doesn't miss stuff, and...
Yeah, he doesn't miss stuff, that's the worst thing, right?
Those sort of tricks that you can get someone with if they haven't been out of region too much.
Yeah.
He just calls you out on them like first or second time. He adapts so quickly.
Yeah.
So you can't really like trick stocks off of him. He is just so impossible to get through. in some way.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, first place Mint, second place
Myself
R23, third Time Muffin. Kind of, I think I'd say maybe he was expected there.
From the Maxi was the third seed, but Maxi,
yeah, Maxi had some. Well, it wasn't sure. I was watching it. It was quite.
I think it was like hand problems or something.
Hand pain or something. It looked like he was trying to pay, even though his hands hurt.
Yeah.
And like it was so much that he like started having a breakdown or something. It was pretty unpleasant to watch.
So he just forfeited in the end.
Yeah.
Like, he waited up a while, but then he was just like he couldn't do it.
But still, fourth place showing this tournament still pretty good. Fifth place Way, the Irish player. Fifth place Shifting Shadows, and then seventh Hen and Draz.
Weird, odd people to get seventh, basically.
Yeah, considering that you look just below and then you see
the bracket
Fade, Mastless, Zeppo.
Ended up a bit weird because Shifting second round lost to Glyket.
Oh.
The Falco player from Fife, who's their 10th on the PR.
Yeah.
But I know they.
Is it true that Scotland suck against Falco?
I've heard this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But I think Gregor and Josh used to practice together a bit, so maybe it's like...
Oh, is Glyket Gregor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I've seen him. I didn't put the two and two together. Because you see someone on Facebook and you see someone on Twitter, but they've got their tag on Twitter and their name on Facebook, and you didn't get it. Okay, cool.
So that's a pretty good upset for him. Like,
yeah.
And then that kind of made the whole bracket a bit weird, because we had Shifting Fade in 9th place, but we should have had it in...
So it side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, these things happen, but still good job to Draz. I want to quickly check who he beat, because him coming top 8 is pretty good for him.
Yeah.
Beat Orin, lost to Fade, and then beat Kraft, and then Glayket. So, yeah,
Kraft is someone who we were considering for the top 25 PR.
Yeah, I remember Vincent saying like he was definitely deserves to be on top 25, but...
So maybe a bit of matchup experience, or...
Yeah, I'm just thinking, he lost to Sox as well, and that's a Samus, so yeah, possibly the same thing.
Yeah, so they were saying, so Sox was like doing down smashes on because Kraft plays Fox, he was playing, and he was down smashing on a shield or something.
Yeah.
And then someone told him, you can wait, like, you can shine that out of shield.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? You can? What? And it's like, you feel like...
he knows nothing, of course you can.
Samus' down smash is obviously like pretty laggy and you should be able to punish it. Like, that's like some pretty fundamental matchup experience you're missing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fair enough, like, these things, like, it just really goes to show how much you really need to travel and play against all the different people who play different characters and stuff to be really good.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll quickly cover Summit. I didn't actually get to watch any of this because...
Time zones.
Yeah, time zones and having to wake up for work. I watched like bits during the week, but the random...
Yeah, I've watched like some
stuff,
singles.
Not actually the bracket.
Of the day one.
Yeah. And I watched some of the doubles, that was pretty good as well. Right, so first place Armada, second place Hungry Box, third place Mutaking.
Yeah, Armada winning at first time last game 3-2. Yeah. A lot of the times he does get reset by Hungry Box, but...
Yeah.
Nice, save a stressful set this time.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch on about Mutaking a bit, because HBox kind of just did HBox stuff. We beat Mango, which is good, but everything else in 3-2, but everything else in his bracket is just like, it's just being Hungry Box. Whereas Mutaking 3-0'd Leffen, and 3-2'd Mango, which is getting straight to winners finals, which is pretty insane. Definitely felt like he was quite 3-0'ing Leffen, especially, is a big deal.
Yeah, it didn't look like either of them were playing.
They were a bit.
Didn't look like either of them were playing amazing.
Yeah, that was one of the few games recorded early on, but it's still like.
Still like.
Gotta give props for that. And beating Mango as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Axe also played insane, getting to 5th. So yeah, the 5th place is 4th place Mango, 5th Plup and Axe. Plup, his bracket was like fine, beat Pew Pew, S2J, Duck, all like manageable stuff for him. Axe takes it over None, which is like expected. Then 3-2's Leffen and 3-1's Shroomed, which is Pikachu Sheik in NTSC,
Yeah, he's done
it not like he's caught him off guard because Shroomed played that matchup, so it's definitely just outplaying.
Yeah. That's great because he hasn't been too horrid. Like he didn't even make top 64 at Big House, and he's like, showed he can still do it versus the top guys here. So
yeah,
sometimes I think he's not as consistent as some of the players who are a tier above him, really. But he still can compete with your Leffens and your at shrooms, obviously.
Yeah.
Duck top 8 is a bit of an upset as well. Like, he took it over West Bulls, which is very surprising. And Duck also beat SFAT in this tournament, so he beat like 2 top 10 players.
That's pretty insane, because you don't... It's 3-1 SFAT as well. SFAT's not the sort of person you expect to lose to Samus as well.
Yeah, he knows the match. Like, he beat Plup recently, who played Samus against him. He knows the matchup.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Alright, I think that rounds it up for Summit. So, what's coming up? There's something in the UK that's cooking up on the 19th.
Yeah, Kickstart 13, which is probably, from the names going and the size of the range of people who are signing up, is probably going to be one of the best ones yet.
Yeah.
We've got, obviously, a huge amount of London people going. We've got... There's a big group from Scotland. They were telling me there was a £63 coach, which was a night coach, but then there was some bug with it that let them apply the same discount code over and over.
Yeah.
So the £60 coach went down to £5.
Oh, bargain.
Which is pretty funny. So there's like 20 Scottish come in.
That's awesome.
I know Mint's going, so maybe a couple of other Irish guys are going.
And also Liquid Hungry Box and CLG SFAT.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty insane.
So, everyone...
Yeah, already at 95 entrants, so if you are thinking about going to the tournament and you're anywhere near London, which is basically, you know, anywhere that is not anywhere in the UK, because everywhere has trains to London.
Yeah, you can really try to go. Just fill it up, get 120 people there.
Yeah.
Make it one of the biggest UK tournaments we've had, really.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something interesting. And also, you know, this is a little bit further away, but if you happen to be free on the 7th of January...
And not in the top 20.
And not in the top 20 ranked players, then do come down to Southampton, because we've got an Arcadian on. And there's only like 30 spots left, even though we announced it like 4 days ago, which is insane.
Yeah, it's really good.
If you're interested, get your spot straight away. Smash.gg/BOTR. I think that plug is done. Anything else you want to chuck in?
Not really. I think that's about it. Like, there's not too many upcoming events. I don't think there's going to be a Kickstart in December.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm not really sure what's happening around that time. Hopefully someone hosts something.
I know I've heard a few secrets about some stuff that's popping up. Nothing enormous, but some interesting stuff and some cool stuff in new places that hasn't had tournaments in before. So.
Okay. So maybe 2 weeks' time we'll have a little...
Yeah, we'll have a little talk about that.
These rumblings as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I know
okay. I'll talk to you afterwards when we stop recording. Thank you very much for joining me this week, Alex. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you, mate.
Peace. What's up, guys? We're on to the main section of Off the Battlefield. We're on to the chunk of the discussion, and I've got Dale, aka DCJ, here. And this is someone who described himself on Twitter as the most important person in Smash UK that no one's ever heard of. So Dale, introduce yourself and tell me who you are. Let everyone know.
Yeah, you summed it up really. So my name's Dale, and I run pretty much all things Smash House. So been doing it for about two and a bit years, maybe a bit less. Before that, I just played, and actually I was probably known for being the main TO up in the northeast. And then we packed that in and started doing Smash House stuff, and that's about it. It's just, I only said that on Twitter because I think it's quite funny because no one knows who I am.
Yeah.
No one has any idea.
It's okay, we're getting that exposure now on my show. Or is it your show?
Yeah, it's not that. So that's it.
Alright, cool. I mean, if we've got you on right here, I can't not first talk about Smash House being like the biggest thing that's come out of the UK recently, and the fact you got your partnership on Twitch, which is awesome. Got some emotes coming, got one of R23, got one of Prof. That's all.
I think we had to have a Prof one. I don't think that wasn't really an option, especially I think that picture that came out with those glasses, the one Alex posted, it couldn't have come at a better time. It was perfect. Bit of a no-brainer. Yeah,
definitely good stuff. I haven't subbed yet, but I'm saving it, don't worry. Okay, when I'm next on stream on Smash House commentating, I'm gonna sub whilst I'm on stream. I'm gonna start trying to start the train going.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So yeah, if you can support Smash House, obviously do.
Please.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk about, because tournament streams is something like, there was a time like a few years ago when people just didn't really care about the stream, you know. Whereas now it really does feel like if you hear about a tournament and you find out there's no stream, you can't like, what? What's up? What's wrong with the tournament? You know.
I think that's funny from a UK point of view because we had nothing, like nothing at all. I can't remember, what was the guy? Like I remember I went down to a tournament in London where Inertia was running.
Oh, Lumpy.
Yeah, Lumpy. That's it, Lumpy. So he was the only guy that was running streams. And even then, like actually to his credit, the stream was okay. Like it wasn't bad.
He put in so much work.
Yeah, he did.
Rip
and
Lumpy.
then he just sort of vanished.
Yeah. Well, I knew him quite well. He definitely got a bit frustrated with how... I think if he did that now, he would be... maybe have hung around a bit. But, like, when he was starting the stream, it was at the time we were just talking about, where people didn't care about it, and it wasn't supported. So it's just sort of like... it was kind of just not worth it for him, and it would just piss him off as well, because...
That's the thing about streaming that I think people really don't appreciate it. It's very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
It's like super, super difficult. Like we've got, I mean, in Smash House we've got a huge team. It's like 9, 10, 11 people. And then you look at like Lever, for example, who does it all by himself. I have absolutely no idea how he does it at all.
Yeah,
but it's very, 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 very difficult. You know, you've got to make sure you've got all your tech right. And then you've got to run the whole thing perfectly, and if something goes wrong, you've got to adapt to know how you do it. And then people are sort of shouting at you because you need VODs the next day, and it's just, it's a tough gig. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that he might have, you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he's got involved in Magic the Gathering as well, so you know, his interest gone a bit in that direction. But
I just know he disappeared. Like he was really prevalent in Spanish. So
yeah, no, he was a great streamer. What you were saying about the stream being hard work is something that a lot of people like kind of just don't really see, or I suppose you would see it if you go to tournaments a lot. But you know, when Smash House sends people down to Kickstarter, down to like the Arcadian on 7th of January, perhaps, or anything like that, you know, the streamer isn't entering the tournament. They're not, you know, hanging around with their friends at the tournament. They're sitting on the desk like all day because they have to manage it. They have to update those scores. You know, that doesn't happen automatically. So yeah, I shout outs to Tet. And,
shout outs to Tet especially, like Tet, Ian. Yeah, they both sort of put the graft in, and I think that we're actually in our own way quite lucky because the UK scene knows what it was like without a stream. Yeah. So we get quite a lot of love from the UK because they know, like, obviously they want us to stick around and they want us to stream. So we're quite lucky, but you know, I think that if you look over the States, a lot of them are taken for granted. Yeah. They're just expected now just to go and then put on this really amazing sick stream and then just be like, well, that's it, you know, and keep them doing it and doing it. So yeah, I think we're quite lucky in the UK. We get quite a lot of love. So
yeah, I love how we went from no streams basically to just sick stream quality in so little time.
It ramped up quite quick because early days, the whole thing was a bit of a train wreck. Like people, I don't think people actually know that we were at the Air 2. Yeah. But we sort of weren't at Air 2. The whole thing just broke. It didn't work. Yeah. It's some of the maddest I've ever been. I was absolutely furious. Yeah. Because we put all this work and everything was working, and then we got there and it just sort of stopped. So we were actually there. It just broke. But I think that quality-wise, it got quite good quite quick. We worked stuff out, and then I think Air 3 was when it really sort of established that, okay, the stream is pretty good.
Yeah, these guys are legit, yeah.
Yeah, the quality is good, and then we were quite lucky to get some really sick matches on there. Like, you know, stuff like Fuzzy Leffen, and then actually seeing all of the top 16 was good. So since then, I think we've been a bit more established. But, you know, still a long way to go. And we're making the transition now, and this is what people don't really understand is, it's quite easy to set up a stream with a camera and a capture card. That's quite simple. But now we're sort of moving into like production. Yeah. Actual production. That's when it gets hard. That's when it gets tricky. Because, you know, when you see your PG boot camps and your Geeky Goon squad and stuff like that, they're full-scale productions at this point. Yeah. With very, 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 very expensive equipment. And that's sort of the transition we're making at the moment, which is why things like subs and stuff like that are really important, because it's expensive.
Yeah. It's definitely important to support the streamers, you know. I also want to just, in case there's any TOs listening, say, like, if you ever get the opportunity, do and Smash House are streaming the tournament, do try and find some way that you can help them out with their travel or whatever. If they're driving down from the northeast.
There's the whole business side of streaming, which is its own thing entirely. But what we ask for specifically is if you cover our travel.
Yeah.
Because in theory, the stream should fund itself from all of the VODs and subs, all that sort of stuff. So I don't really think it's fair for me to sort of charge people for us the privilege of being there.
Yeah.
But traveling, like the travel, if you can fund that, that would be very much appreciated.
Yeah. And then Smash House could shine their big spotlight on your event as well. So
yes,
can work out for everyone.
That's the plan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, How did it all start then with Smash House? We will move on to other stuff in our topic later, but I do want to do on Smash House a bit more first. How did it all come together? What made you think we want to stream? Because obviously you mentioned Lever, who is the big European streamer. Was he a bit of inspiration, or?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I talked a lot about it before we actually started, and it was very, very obvious that in the UK, none of the events were being streamed at all.
Yeah.
Like literally none. And all of these high-profile players and big events that just saw no spotlight at all, to the point where actually a lot of the times people just didn't care.
Yeah.
So I knew there was sort of a want for it, and I knew there was a need for it, and that's pretty much why I did it. The plan from day one was always to to travel with it, so that was always the goal, to travel with it and go from there. And that's it really. It was slow going, so early days. Early days, there was a lot of just learning on the fly. So it's been a very, very long journey from where we started to where we are now. Buying equipment, realizing it didn't work, working out that we need other equipment, realizing that didn't work. It's not so bad now, but especially early days, streamers were quite secretive with their knowledge, where we'd reach out to certain people and we'd get told flat out that we wouldn't get help, quite specifically. So we've had to learn the hard way for quite a while. And it's a bit like I said earlier, like we sort of plodded and it didn't work, and sometimes it did work, and we went to some events that we just tried to stream and couldn't, and then it it all came together sort of Air 2.
Yeah.
From there, really, we've been on the up and up. So.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I think it's especially good that we've got this happening in the UK right now because, this is actually a DreamHack Winter last year. I think it was last year. I spoke to Crimson Blur about this, and he just said, the UK has such a ridiculous amount of potential for Smash. And he was just saying it's way bigger than any other EU scene in terms of potential. Like, the language of Smash is already English.
Yeah.
Everyone in these other countries, whenever you go to a tournament in France or Netherlands or whatever, you speak in Spanish, in English. You stage strike in English, and all of this. And it's just like we have that innate advantage, and I kind of feel this a little bit as a commentator as well, having this first language benefit. Just means that it's so easy for our content to be accessible for people in Europe, and the other European countries don't really have that. So I think it really is important that we grow the UK's just general content base, and the streaming is a big part of that.
It's something I've ranted about for ages. I don't understand why the UK don't have a very established big commentator for everything you've just said. I think that what Europe suffers from a lot of the time, and it's not necessarily their fault, but the non-native English speakers in Europe sometimes come across as quite dry. It's not necessarily their fault. It's there's a language barrier to it, but it baffles me completely that one of the big main Smash commentators in Europe isn't from the UK.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of that is work ethic, and I don't think anyone has really sort of took the leap and said, right, I'm going to be, an excellent commentator for Smash.
Yeah.
I think the nearest equivalent is probably Bowie in Smash 4. I think that he and Fuzzy to an extent, but I think that he was obviously helped there by the fact that he's extremely good at the game. So he was a player first, but I don't think anyone really, apart from you're starting to see people like yourself really
Yeah.
start to say, right, you know what, I'm going to be a commentator first.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I've ranted about, where people are very, very keen at being players first.
Yeah.
And then content creators or streamers or TOs or whatever second.
Mm.
And I think that if you're going to really sort of excel at whatever you're going to decide to do, you need to put that first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Smash House, for example, you're talking about when we come to an event, we're streaming the event first, and it has to be like that.
Yeah.
Because if not, it wouldn't be the quality that it is. You know, like Ed, for example, Cone, so the guy that runs Team Air at Air 3. He didn't enter the tournament.
Yeah, there's no chance he's even into that.
No, like, it's his event. Like he's, that's all he's thinking about. That's what it's all about. So I think that's for me, if we're talking about the UK as a whole and how to progress and all that sort of stuff, I think people need to commit.
Yeah.
To their place within the scene, and really sort of have a bit of how do I put it? Ambition.
Yeah.
I think that the scene lacks a lot of ambition.
Yeah.
I mean, three of the great big success stories of the scene, I would sort of say, is Smash House, Air, and then yourselves in regards to Team SDS. And I think all the thing that all three of those shares is it's ambition.
Yeah.
You know, whoever thought Air 3 would have been possible a couple of years ago? Whoever thought that we would have a partnered stream in the UK a couple of years ago? You know, who thought that we'd have an Arcadian that, you had like 50 entrants in a ridiculous amount of time.
It was like 60 in the first weekend, 64 or something in the first weekend.
You know, it seems really come on leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
But it needs to continue to do so.
Yeah, definitely. I think, this is just kind of like how I felt before. Like, I kind of just, obviously, like, I'm like one of the bigger content creators at the moment. I've got the vlogs, I'm doing Off the Battlefield now, obviously. And, I do various bits and bobs, like, there's an article on SDS and stuff like that. But, before I started content creation, I kind of just thought to I didn't really see what the point of it was. I didn't really think anyone would watch it. But, like, I just made a video randomly. I can't remember what it was, but something was just on my mind. I was like, I want to say about this, so I just recorded myself with a crappy webcam. And then, like, 150 people watched it or something, and they were like... And I was just like, how has this happened? It's like, the UK is just like... it's dying to get some content in it, Everyone wants it. The audience is there just waiting, trying to find things to consume, trying to find content to consume. And there just isn't anything there for them. So it's like, if you have any skill in any of these areas, like, you could be a bit of personality, you can talk on the camera, or even you could just start a podcast, or you can start a tutorial. Anything like that, if you have, like, the slightest bit of talent for it and you've got a good idea, just give it a go, because people are going to want to watch it.
100%, like, that would be, people just need to do it. And I think a lot of people hold themselves back because they think, no one's going to watch, or whatever I got to say, or why would I do that, or whatever. Just do it. Like, the best and worst thing about the internet is, if something's not very good, you find out quite quickly.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because take that thing, you say, right, I'm going to tweak this, I'm going to tweak that. What you shouldn't do, what I see a lot, is start something, fail, and then give up instantly. If you're going to use it, do not get into sort of any sort of content creation or TO or streaming or whatever if you're after sort of rewards and accolades and compliments. Just don't bother. Like, it's not going to go well. You'll get frustrated. It's quite a hard road. I mean, you'll see yourself, like, with these commentary feedback threads.
Yeah.
If you're not one of the established, quote, top commentators, generally people are quite harsh.
Yeah,
like, you absolutely do, and you've got to try and take that and take the positive. A Smash House, for example, if anything's not right, or we put the wrong character icon on the stream, or we spell someone's tag wrong, or whatever, or the stream goes down because of something completely out of our control, doesn't matter. Like, if you watch a big American stream, for example, and like VGBC are at a venue and the stream goes down, no one cares at all that it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's like, somehow it's like Gimmer's fault, you know what I mean? And it's stuff like that. So you've got to have a pretty thick skin. And but you know, it's what the scene needs more than ever at the moment. Like people putting the graft in, having a bit of ambition, and just doing stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There is like a few bits and bobs that are coming out. Like I know a couple of people who have blogs or like writing notes, but it's just like it's definitely not being promoted. Like people are just posting it here and there or in their local groups. And it's like, if you think you've got something that's actually good, and the people who you have shown it to are, you know, saying they like it and giving you good feedback on it, then just do try and spread it with a wider audience, because like people are going to want to watch it if they know about it, and it is good.
I think the written words are hard to sell nowadays. People don't like reading stuff, so if you are going to do a blog or something like that, that's absolutely fine. It's just the quality's normally got to be a bit higher.
Yeah, that's true.
But content is content, and you know, there's by far there's not enough of it, and there's nothing stopping people doing it. Like, you know, it's 2016. Everyone's got a decent webcam.
Yeah.
Everyone tends to have a decent headset. You know, why not make a vlog, or you know, even like, you know, use your iPhone. The cameras on iPhones are good enough. Make like a little vlog or video of the event you went to, or you know, people are clambering for stuff like that, and I don't know why people don't. I don't know why we don't do enough of it.
There's so many opportunities for stuff like that. You know, you go to a big tournament, just videoing your journey or something, video a bit at the event, video while you're like going to the pub afterwards, and just like, you know, edit that together, put some good music on it, and you've just got a cool, awesome video that everyone's going to check out. You know, and if it was a good event, then it's going to have that hype associated with it as well. So
exactly, and it's a good way to like get your own name out there as well. Like, you know, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that the vlogs and you know, all that sort of stuff will help you get better commentary gigs in the future. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's all, you know, it's all tied together.
Yeah, it's all just like, yeah, it's just like you don't want to like sound like you're blowing your own trumpet or you're trying to inflate yourself or like anything like that. But you know, if there is something like you want to take seriously, for example, I'm taking commentary seriously, then doing stuff to promote myself so that I can get good commentary gigs is just a required part of that. If you want to get involved in any content creation, then don't like be ashamed to promote yourself or anything like that, because
I mean, I
you've
think
got to just promote yourself as much as you can,
Exactly.
because otherwise no one's going to watch it.
No, I think like for me, like, be competitive about it.
Yeah.
Like I say the same thing to yours quite often. Like, be competitive. You know what I mean? Try to be. You know, if we had more content creators, and we have content creators who are trying to sort of outdo each other, that's good for the scene. That's good for you know. That's good for, you know, if all of a sudden someone made a vlog tomorrow and it was seen as just as good or better than yours. Yeah,
exactly.
Guarantee you the next week you're going to go, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know, I think people are naive to that. I think some people quite think, oh, for the love of the scene, and yes, obviously there's an element of that.
Yeah.
But also, obviously you want to be better than the other guy. I want to kick Lever's ass. Like, I by far want us to be the best stream in Europe. Of course I do. You know, Cone, do you not think Ed wants Air 3 to be the best tournament in Europe? Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Air and Beast are constantly spurring each other on. You know, the competitive nature doesn't just stop in the game. Like, it shouldn't. It's good, and it pushes everyone, and it puts it forward. You know, for everyone listening, beat Tristan. You know, be a better commentator. Yeah. Be a better content creator. There's nothing stopping you. You know, it's good for the scene. Yeah. People just need to just do it.
Yeah, they do. Because you just touched on the aspects of competition and how it's gonna, like, you know, up the game for everyone. I kind of want to just segue a little bit. This isn't really related to the topic of this week, but I was just reminded about how in the Midlands, like, a lot of people have been complaining about how there's some pretty bad TOs who are like ridiculously overcharging for their events and stuff. But the thing. And they're also just putting on a shoddy show for this ridiculously expensive event. And, you know, the only answer to things like this is just to say, hang on, you know what, like, I'm going to just do it myself.
Yeah.
And if you've got a crappy TO in your region who you think's ripping you off, what you need to do is just go find a venue, go find some TVs, or, you know, hit up someone you know locally who's got some TVs like me, and just say, I'm going to do my own tournament here, and I'm going to not overcharge people, and then as soon as you've done that, they're all going to come to your tournament, you know? There's no chance they're going to go to the one that they already hate, but as long as there's no competition, that bad TOs keep getting propped up by the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, be a TO as well. If you ever feel like your region just needs it, then you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the best TOs this country's ever seen, what they all do collectively is they're all professional, and they treat it a bit like a business. And by that, what I'm talking about is sort of, supply and demand, and getting what you want from your money, and all these things that people sort of ignore. Or it's almost like a taboo subject because we're a grassroots scene, and it's all about Smash, and it's all about that. But
all the TOs in the country know that it's actually there's business at the bottom of it.
100%.
Like it's only. I'm sorry, this is probably shattering some illusions for people in the audience, but it's like a lot of people. Everyone likes to pretend, like we're saying, it's just all about Smash, and everyone the Smash does come first for I think every TO that that I consider a good one in the UK, which is pretty much everyone. But they still understand that beneath that there's these numbers, and these numbers have to add up a certain way, otherwise it's not going to work out. And it's just like, we don't talk about it too much, but it is a reality of the world.
It's definitely not discussed a lot, and I think that it's the big difference between an okay TO and a good TO. They don't make that. It's almost like they don't think of it in a very specific way, and you need to shift this focus from we all love Smash and we're one big Smash family and stuff like that to, right, how do I make it this better than this guy's, or how do I, make money so I can pump it in this way. You've got to have that sort of that mindset of growth and development, and it's all part and parcel of the same thing.
Okay, so that was a bit of a segue. We were talking about streamers. I just wrote down in the notes, segue from professional streams into personal streamers like Jam, but we weren't even talking about that anymore, so you're going to brute force this one, okay?
No, do it. That's good.
So, another big way, or just like one of the simple ways that a lot of people are trying to produce a bit of content now is through the the personal stream, the house stream. Not where you're streaming a tournament like Smash House do, but where you just have a Smash Fest at your house, you have people around, you got a room microphone. One of the bigger ones for that in the UK is Jam, Jam. Definitely a great weekly stream. But it's just another bit of a surprise that no one else in the UK has really been keeping it up.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It's like that's what I've seen over the past month, like 6 months or a year. I'm sure I've seen 15 people post their stream once, and none of them are doing it anymore, I swear, Or people do it for a bit, post their stream every week for 3 weeks, and then just seem to just give up, and it's just keep it up, guys, keep it up.
Yeah, so there's an audience for it. I remember way back when the Rare Candy streams, when they used to stream PM, they got good numbers, and they had a following every single week, and it wasn't anything special. It was literally the game, and normally Ben talking into a mic at the stream, and that was it. But they got good numbers, Jamie gets good numbers. Nothing special is happening there. They don't have any sort of sick production value, or the Europe's best players or anything like that. They're just consistent, and I think that you've got, regardless of what you decide to do, if you're going to stream or if you're going to create content or whatever, you've got to be consistent, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely can't, decide to make a podcast and then record 2 episodes and then leave it for a year. You have to get to episode 3 like we just did right now. Because obviously it's hard. We've been guilty of that before. This is the 3rd or 4th sort of relaunch of OTB, and it did well when it was consistent, and it's important to be like that because people are fickle and people get bored. So you've got to be a presence. And you've got to. There's just so much competing for your attention online now that it's just you can't just be forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly.
So there isn't really no real big streamers, and in general just a lack of content. I've got this question written down here. What sort of things do you want to see? What sort of content do you want to see come out from people in the UK?
I think something that's quite easy. Well, I say quite easy, but something that's quite easy to do is things like montages and stuff like that. Really big in America. What Summit finished on the weekend just gone, and we've seen so many compilation reels and highlight reels and all that sort of stuff of the stream's best bits. And there's not really anything like that exists.
Yeah.
For example, what happened if there was a weekly video and it was sort of this week in the UK Smash, and it was a combination of both Smash 4
Yeah.
highlights and Melee highlights. Like, why not do something like that? Or I think vlogs are cool, but you've got to have enough of a presence to do it.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? Like, first time tournament goer, I think his vlog wouldn't necessarily go down too well because you need a bit of a personality, you need to be a bit more established. But stuff
yeah, he could, the first time tournament guy could make a montage, and no one, it wouldn't matter that he's first time.
Exactly. Awesome. Exactly. There's nothing stopping them doing that. Or combo, videos, or
that was the classic combo videos. No one does that anymore.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just people feel like they can't, or if they don't want to, or I don't know.
Yeah. Very interesting. One of the there's nothing. There's no content. It's a shame.
No, I mean I can't. Outside of Smash House VODs and the occasional tournament VODs, like I know that for example Bristol are quite consistent with their events, bringing the VODs out, and I know that Wales are quite consistent with them bringing the VODs out. Yeah. But aside from that, and aside from your vlogs, I can't think of any consistent content at all. Not any.
Yeah.
People just do it. People just need to just do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they can't do it. Just do it. Even if you do it and in the middle of the process you decide that you hate it, fine, but then just try it. There's no reason why not.
Yeah, it's just like, have you do you have, I don't mean to sound rude here, but it's a pretty low bar for what you need to do to be a good level compared to all other content.
So especially in this country. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's just like,
not just countries, Europe. Like Europe as a whole. Like there are many different reasons why we're behind the US in regards to the Smash scene in general. Content for me is right at the top, 100% right at the top, because our player skill levels aren't drastically behind.
Yeah.
But the scale of our events are getting there as well with the Air and Beast. But content is so far behind.
There's no personalities. That's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, that's the other side. Yeah, we don't have any.
Devoid of it. I mean, part of that is slightly the fact that kind of the face of European Smash Armada is a bit, bit robotic or a bit machine-like, and is not. It just in the way, if you compare them to Mango, at least.
Yeah, of course.
There's just the amount of personality and character that Mango has compared to Armada just isn't the same. And just throughout the scene as well, there just aren't really many of that people. Like, we can't see Slim Shady in Germany, who's trying to, go a bit down that avenue, and he is having success with his videos.
But he did the one with the Link player the other day.
Yeah, the 6.
And it's awesome. Like, it's got loads of views. It's
exactly.
Really,
it's
really
just like, you could do that, guys. You could have done that. Couldn't you? It's not that hard, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, if you think you need like extraordinary talent to succeed here, like you don't need extraordinary talent. You need like mediocrity. And I mean, not like it. Maybe not to be like the most successful ever, but if you want to just start, you can start with mediocrity. Like then obviously you're going to work on it. You're going to develop. You're going to use the feedback you get, but you don't have to just come fresh off the bat and just do something that's like mind-blowingly amazing. I don't know what I'm saying. You don't need to do something that's mind-blowingly amazing, because it's just like, you just get something out there that's got like a good idea, and you'll see if people want to see it, and then you can learn from there. If you look at my vlogs, look at my first vlog and look at my vlog now, okay, and it's like nothing much has changed in the way I feel like I'm doing it. I just sit there and I talk, but the video has got way better because you got better production and stuff. That stuff will all come over time. It's just like, I sat down and I spoke, and then the people came and watched, and then I realized, oh crap, I should take this seriously. Now I'm gonna actually, get nice cameras and stuff.
Yeah, but you when you first started, like, and you made your video, I'm sure that your decision then to I'm gonna make this better and this better is part of the fact that you got that initial nice reception, and everyone's like, oh, this is really cool and all that sort of stuff. That makes you want to do it more. You know what I mean? And I think that people just need to give it a chance and I think people sometimes talk themselves out of doing stuff. So,
Yeah.
oh, I can't make it good enough, or oh, I can't say this, I can't say that. If anyone listening has any interest at all of being sort of like a top personality or commentator in Europe, or like a content creator in Europe, now is the time to do it. It's wide open. It's absolutely wide open. There's no big, and I don't want to insult anyone here, but for me, there's not one big, established, huge go-to commentator in Europe at all.
I agree.
There's lots of...
The closest thing is Forster, but even still, it's not like you go, who's on commentary? Forster,
Yeah,
he's like the biggest name, but he's not like an instant grab.
Exactly, it's not a given,
Yeah.
I think that many people can make lots of different arguments for who should commentate a top 8, for example, at an EU major. Can you say the same thing about US? Not really. It generally tends to be Skarantov.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the go-to, and that's something that they've worked on and they've established. And it takes a lot of hard work, but if anyone listening wants to be a big commentator in Europe, you can do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you doing it all. Go to events just to commentate. Go to events. You know what I mean? There's nothing stopping you doing it. If you want to be a big commentator in Europe, you can just do it. If you want to be a big streamer in Europe, you can do it because no one's doing it. There's no oversaturation. Europe's void of it.
It's undersaturation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
America's not like that. America, there's content creators and there's people left, right, and center. Everyone wants to be on commentary. Everyone wants to do that. We just don't have that here.
Yeah.
In Europe, everyone's a player first.
Yeah.
And then they might do some content creation in their spare time if they feel like it. We need more TOs.
Yeah. It's just like I think in America, right, what you're saying about the oversaturation in America, I'm sure there's like hundreds of people in America who are like thinking, oh, I want to make some content, I want to become a commentator, and they're probably like bemoaning how oversaturated the market is and how they didn't think about doing it 10 years ago, when Smash wasn't so big. And now we're in that spot in the UK where you actually have this opportunity. And if it's not gonna, you're gonna miss your opportunity if you don't just get on it now.
It's a huge, huge opportunity. Like I saw the opportunity of, being the premier streamer in the UK because no one else was doing it.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything special. We just did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we got some stuff and we did it, and we were willing to travel for it. You know what I mean? We don't have lever levels production or anything like that. We're slowly getting there, but we just did it.
Yeah.
Yourself. You won the best commentator thing and all that. The Smash UK awards purely based on the fact that you've just made yourself more of a face of commentary. Like you've put a focus on it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like people just need to. If people want to do it, they just need to do it.
Have courage in their convictions. Do the things that they're saying. Yeah. And just go for it.
I see it all the time, and it drives me crazy. Where you'll see comment threads or whatever, and people are like, "Oh, I really want to get into commentary," or "I'd really like to try some commentary," or I'm gonna be the next big commentator, and they just don't do it. They don't follow through, and it's something you've got to commit to, and it's an active choice you've got to make to right, I'm gonna be a commentator. You know what I mean? And if that's what you want to do, and you want to be the next big commentator, you can do it. Just do it.
Yeah. So true. Okay, I want to touch on to another side of content that we haven't really talked about yet. I mean, you touched on it very briefly, but the written side of content, because there's a lot of video stuff coming out now. But if you do look to America, there is just Tafokins and stuff are always coming out with contents and stuff.
It's true.
Interviews with someone, wrap up for some tournament or the other, like big rundown for what's coming up in the next few months of Smash, stuff like this. There's just literally nothing like that in the UK at all. There's just nothing. And it's pretty insane. Yeah, in Europe, it's just like there's a few Smash Europe articles, like one every few months. It's like, that's just nothing. And this reminds me of something I saw Tafo talking about, which is about how if you wanted to become an esports journalist, how you should do that in Smash. And he basically said, like, you got to take. We're talking more about opportunity now. You just got to take this opportunity where we are still quite grassroots, and the top players are still, not in this ridiculously busy celebrity lifestyle. So if you're an upcoming journalist or something, and you think, oh man, I wish I could interview Professor Pro, just tweet at Professor Pro, and he'll probably be like, I'll do an interview.
Yeah, he will do it.
Same with all the top people, because we're not like so high and mighty. These people do have the time; they will give you an interview and they will help you out. Mm-hmm. So do if you ever got an A star in an English exam or something, just give it a go, because someone's
There's
got to do it,
opportunities
and even if you
everywhere.
suck at the start, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people just need to recognize the opportunities. If you want to get into journalism, you can do it in Smash, and you can be very successful doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to, this is something like if you want to get into sort of creating videos, for example, or videography, or like being a filmographer or something like that, or making a documentary or whatever. There's a huge opportunity to Smash. Like, there's so many different things you can do outside of just playing the game.
Yes.
And I'm not sort of suggesting everyone stops playing and the true calling is to go out and create content. Like, that's not what I'm saying. It's just see the opportunities and see that you can get things out of Smash other than just playing the game. Like the written side, like, big question, why don't Europe have their own version of TAFO? Why has no one
done it?
Why has no one thought,
right,
I can be the Europe version of TAFO? Like, why? I don't understand why not. I don't understand why. Like, we've got Smash Rank and all that stuff, and that's brilliant, but be a person to sort of give it some context, and write a breakdown of, Armada Leffen's really interesting because of yada yada yada, or the only player to take games from them is so and so, or make a video. You just need to do it. There's so many opportunities. Look at the bigger picture and go for it.
Yeah. One thing I want to just chuck in here as well is, if you are, in terms of written content, if you're thinking, I don't know where I can publish this, or I can get anyone to look at it. If you think it's halfway good, send it to me. Say, I'll put it on my website. I'll put it on the SGS or GG site, and then we can actually start getting some stuff there. Because there's a blog section on there waiting to get filled, but I haven't got anyone who's bloody writing anything, and I can't write especially well. So it's just like, well, actually, I've got some stuff coming out. You'll find out about that later. But just send it to me. I can get you on that website hype. I can, if it's good, or I can edit it with you. We can talk about it. And then you can get it published, and if it's on there, it's going to add some legitimacy to it, and it's also going to, just help keep the content going for everyone.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
wouldn't that be cool? And then, like, it's just like, if it's something you're actually thinking about a career in as well, it's just like, you could just say you've been writing for this article or this online journal for, however long we've been doing it for. And it's just like, that is experience in that field, That's what it counts as.
Exactly, you can use it. Use it. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you not telling me that some of the big tournaments, TOs in Europe, can't use that? That's event organisation on a huge scale. That's like an employable skill. Yeah. You can get a job based off that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, use it. You can use it in real life, and you can, now more than ever. Well, people keep talking about esports, right? So esports is the dirty word at the moment, and is Smash going to be esports and all that sort of stuff? Yeah. Personally, it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, like, the upwards momentum is pretty steep. Like, I think it's still some way away for Smash, but it's coming. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to be on the ground floor of, being a personality commentator or a stats guy or any of those things, now's the time to do it.
Do it now. Do it now.
Because it's got to get harder. Because then you'll have people like, a year or two down the line, I'm going to be a commentator. Now there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 people all wanting to do the exact same thing. Do it. Do it now.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so I think we've done a lot of talking about how people need to go and make content.
Yes, I think so.
I think we've pretty much covered everything. Is there any final thoughts you want to have?
Just do it, really.
Just do it.
Make content.
Just do it.
That's it. Like, I'll be very, very upset if over the next month or so there's still no content at all. Just do it. Make some.
Just do it. And if you're struggling, just send me a message. I'll try and help you out.
It's like, it's very, very obvious that this is something we interest in both feel very strongly about, and and we like to talk about it. Just message either of us.
Yeah.
Just like tweet at me on Twitter or whatever. Like, or message or tweet at Tristan. Like, we will help you if there's something you're not sure of, or if someone wants us to look at, or if anyone needs help setting up stream stuff or anything like that. Just message.
Just get on Facebook now. Yes, do it. Get on Twitter now.
Do it. I will do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, just make some content, please, for the love of God.
Alright, cool. Any shout-outs you want to give? Obviously, shout-outs to Smash House.
Yeah, but shout-outs to the whole team, because obviously I do the boring side of Smash House.
Yeah.
But, shout-outs to Tet and Ian and Nate and Omid and everyone, Ducker and everyone that sort of runs the whole team. Everyone has their own part to play.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. Just shout-outs out at the scene as well. We get massive support, and it's all really, really, really appreciated. We want to sort of give someone back and make sure we're all proud.
Alright, thank you very much, Dale. It was a pleasure to have you on.
No, you're welcome.
And we'll jump on to our next section, which is going to be a beautiful interview. See you guys in a sec.
Cheers.